verse 27, veridical paradox, is a fascinating passage to examine. Acts 17, verse 27, and I'm reading from the literal emphasis translation, states, to seek God, so the object in this passage here is God, if perhaps indeed they might touch him. That word in the Greek is psilaphao, grope around, handle, touch, and might find him, though indeed he is not far away from each one of us. This is so important because in this passage, Paul is saying that God basically is handled. God can be touched, or one of the apostles in this passage in the book of Acts. And this is so key because if you go to the Greek concordance, you will find it. That word is psilaphao, grope around, to handle, to touch, from the base of psalo, to manipulate, verify by contact. Okay? So it properly means to touch lightly, to feel after, to discover. It comes from a root meaning to rub, wipe, hence to feel on the surface. This is so very important because in Acts 17:27, that word is found, and it's also found in 1 John chapter 1, verse 1. That which was from the beginning, which we have heard, which we have seen with our own eyes, which we have gazed upon and touched. That word is found again, psilaphao. And it perfectly aligns with John 20:27 to 28, when Jesus encourages Thomas to touch him, to handle him, to palpate him, and he ultimately cries out, Thomas cries out, my Lord and my God, after touching the risen Lord. So all of these passage perfectly aligns with Acts 17:27, that the one true God was handled by the apostles. They could touch him quite literally. Why? Because 1 Timothy 3:16 states God was revealed, was manifest in the flesh. Acts 20:28 states that God purchased the church with his own blood. Notice the personal emphasis. It's not someone else's blood, it's his own blood. Zechariah 12:10 famously states, Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh is speaking, and they will look on me. That word in Hebrew is Elai. They will look on me, not someone else. It's very personal, the one they have pierced. 1 John 3, verse 1 to 3 is beautiful because it perfectly brings both of these passages to the zenith of this evidence that Jesus truly is God manifest in the flesh, the Father. 1 John 3, verse 1 to 3 states, behold what manner of love the Father. Notice that this is an explicit reference to the Father. And it goes on to state that he has given us this manner of love, that we should be called the sons of God. Therefore, the world knoweth us not, because it knew him not. That word in Greek is auton, referring back to the primary object of this passage. And the object of this passage is the Father, explicitly. So we continue and we see that we will be like him. John is literally saying we will be like the Father. We will see the Father as he is, and that he is pure. The reception in the early church history, in the second century writers such as Ignatius of Antioch and Irenaeus echoed the language of the palpating, the psilaphano, to refute the Gnostic denials of the incarnation and the Docetists. Thus, this phrase psilaphao, and forgive me if I'm butchering the Greek, thus helped frame correct Christology. The same Jesus who could be grasped in life and after death is the eternal God. And we find this in Isaiah 9:6, that Jesus is not only called the mighty God, but he is also identified as the everlasting Father made flesh. In classical Trinitarian